Mr. Chairman. I haven't been here for very long, but I have been here long enough to know that this bill is junk. The small family farms that I represent across upstate New York are getting crushed. They're getting crushed. And they deserve a hell of a lot better than what this committee is offering today. A couple months ago, right after I got here, there was an 8th grade class from Ichabod Crane Middle School, and they came here to visit me, and we went out to the House floor. We took a photo on the Capitol. They gave me a Riders hoodie, which I love. And I got to talking with one of the students, and she was telling me that her family has owned a dairy farm in Columbia County for generations. And she was so proud of that. But now she was telling me that at dinner, the family conversations often turn to whether they can keep the farm going. The costs are way too high. Labor is scarce. The markets are unpredictable. So they're talking about literally selling the family farm. And she was telling that to me, and it stuck with me because it reminded me of me and my friends from West Endicott growing up when the factories were closing. Families having that, what are we going to do conversation at the kitchen table. And too many families across upstate New York are having that exact same conversation, and it shouldn't be this way if this place would just do its job. Do your job. But Congress has its priorities so messed up that you managed to somehow come up with a bill that makes things worse. Not better, worse. We should all be working together the way our voters sent us here to do in a bipartisan way on a bipartisan farm bill that serves rural America. And instead, you're so desperate and hell-bent on giving tax cuts to your campaign donors that you're leaving our farmers stranded again without a farm bill. What we ought to be doing around here is breaking up the big ag monopolies so our family farmers can compete on a level playing field, but instead, you're so hell-bent on handing out more tax cuts to mega corporations who don't need it at the expense of folks who do. What we ought to be doing every day is lifting kids out of poverty and giving them a fighting chance. I've got a third of the kids who I represent are on food stamps. And instead of helping them out, you're taking food off their tables and sending them to school hungry. And I know you all deny it. I've heard it all night. You deny it. We're not cutting foods from kids. The numbers don't lie, folks. It's hundreds of billions of dollars. The numbers don't lie. And we've heard a lot about numbers and statistics here tonight, thrown around a lot of numbers. But you know what's really at stake here? It's the folks back home in upstate New York. There's a single mom in Hurley who wrote to me, and she told me she was able to get her degree and earn a place in the middle class because SNAP kept her family afloat. She doesn't deserve less. I've got small family farmers out in Shenango County and Columbia County. They're feeding their neighbors. They're just trying to survive. They don't deserve less. Got a little kid that I met at the food pantry in Catskill a couple weeks ago. That kid should not be going to school on an empty stomach. He does not deserve less. I don't know a single person in upstate New York who thinks everyday people should get less just so big corporations can have even more. Maybe that makes sense in Washington. I haven't been here very long. Maybe it makes sense here, but it sure as hell doesn't make any sense in upstate New York. If you all want to work across the aisle and do a good farm bill that helps upstate New York and helps those kids, I am here for it. Call me up. We will work together. I will work with anyone who's going to do right by upstate New York. But if you're going to push this bill that hurts us, makes kids hungry, hurts our farmers, leaves our farmers stranded without a farm bill, I'm going to fight it every step of the way. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman